Hey, Shalom, Shalom and stuff. So it's by giving no praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kodash, the blood of the apostles, GMS, and honestly, brothers doing the work of the most on truth and sincerity. Yeah, man. Hey, Esau can't do no wrong, man. Right? That's and obviously I'm being facetious when I say that, right? This is this idea that no matter what Esau does, there's always a reason. There's always oh look, yeah, look, he was cleaning graffiti. Oh, it was, I mean, look at him, right? Trying to normalize this little devil, right? This is the suspected teen gunman Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Which is apparently the guy that shot two people there. Because the thing is, when I heard two people got shot, I was just like, niggas being niggas again, right? It turns out it was actually E. He was doing the living up to his blessing. Let's just put it like that. And basically you read through these comments and basically like, yo, people are legit like, yeah, well, the guy he did kill, he was, a on the sex offender register, blah, 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 right? And then things like, oh, but they were attacking him, right? And then basically people are like, nah, this is after, which, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, right? A guy there showing the contrast, right? Apparently the Jake had a knife in his car, right? Or whatever, what have you. But hey, it is what it is, man. Look, we understand, man. We understand when the scriptures say that this ain't our rest. This ain't the place for us to be getting justice, man. That's in the kingdom. How do you expect justice from the devil? This is Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, right? It's basically saying spiritually depart, right? You scriptures talk about the renewing of your mind, right? Not physically depart out of America or physically depart, out of, wherever this man dwells, because ultimately, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So no matter where it is you're going, Esau's there. Esau has influence over there, right? In one way or another, right? So for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, right? Shall destroy you even with the sword destruction, right? And one of those pollutions is this Edomite supremacy, man. But it's okay, right? The Lord is gonna bring an end to all of that, man. Right? Our kingdom is gonna be a kingdom of righteousness, where righteous rule is pushed out, right? As we saw there, like, you had people defending him, and in the same breath, we'll be like, oh, but that Jay, he deserved to get shot because he wasn't obeying the police, or whatever nonsense they'll spew, right? So they always find a reason, because this ain't our kingdom, right? At the end of the day, right? In fact, let me look for that in Peter's. Second Peter 3:13 is, nevertheless we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, right? So we, our minds, us in the know, our minds go past this man's kingdom. Our minds are like, look, man, this man's kingdom, it ain't for us, right? So when we see things like that happening, it's just like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, right? But we look for a new kingdom, our kingdom, where I'm going to be dwelling righteousness, where righteous judgment will go forth, right? Where, what do you call it? It ain't going to be like Esau's system, where, look, in our kingdom, if a Moabite goes off and the Elamite goes off, they're getting the same punishment, right? We ain't gonna be doing none of this favoring, one. Look, the law is the law, and it's all about righteousness, right? Whereas in the Esau's kingdom, there ain't no righteousness, man. Right? And obviously, the Israelites, we ain't gonna be able to go off. So, it's not like we can even go off for us to be, what do you call it? Being impartial, right? This is Proverbs 29:2. So when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, right? And no matter what, where it is Esau goes, right? He's just oppressing everyone, man. When everyone's hurt, and he's always giving himself a better deal than everyone else, right? Whether it's the Canadian Edomite, the British Edomite, the American Edomite, the Australian Edomite, or the New Zealand Edomite, man, right? no matter where the quote European Edomite, right, wherever these Edomites are, man, they just they're just there being the devil, right? So they go breaking this that when the righteous are in authority, so when the children of Israel are in authority and a rule of power, right, the people are gonna be happy. Right, you read that in Isaiah the second chapter where the scriptures say basically these heathens are gonna be like, oh, let us go to the mount of the children of Israel, right, so that we could what do you call so that we can what's the word I'm looking for? So that basically we can learn of his laws, learn of his ways. Yeah, that's what it says. Right now, Isaiah the second chapter, right? So people are going to be rejoicing because they're going to be looking and contrasting to Esau's kingdom and being like, right, Esau was taking the piss, right? You read that in the story of Lazarus, right, where basically, was it the dogs licked his sores or licked the crumbs off the table, something like that. Basically, Esau's taking the big chunk. He's giving these heathen nations, crumbs or whatever, and then giving Jake nothing, man. Right? But in our kingdom, we're gonna be righteous, right? So, what was I gonna get? So I was gonna get this is Psalm 73:5 says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued as other men." Right. So, and this encompasses and touches on many things, right? Primarily, what could be broken down with one phrase, and that is Edomite privilege, man. Right. Basically, wherever the here it is, everyone knows that this man went to war in Iraq, and it was an illegal war, but no one really calls him out for that. The people who did it, they're still able to walk around free, right? And they even said, "I'll do it again." That was Tony Blair, right? They'll go to the other people's countries, and despite everyone there hating them, they still get welcomed with open arms. Why? Because they're Edomites, right? But then another thing is you look at like when it comes to punishment of like Edomites doing things, these Edomites get away with it, man. Right? Whereas Jake, you see, there was a story of a Jake, man. He was serving life in prison under the three strike rule for stealing like $9, $10, man. Something ridiculous like that, right? And the two previous offenses were minor, if I'm remembering correctly, right? So here it is, man committed three offenses and spent and minor offense because in our law, if you steal, what do? You basically give that back and double, right? If my memory serves me well, right? But hey, that's just the world we live in, man. That's the devil's world for you, right? So this is Psalm 33:5 again. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So they don't get the same, what do you call it? The same plagues, if you will, as the rest of the nations do, right? This devil gets the benefit of the doubt, right? If you look like this, you get the benefit of the doubt. But if you're a Jake, on the other hand, it's like, I wonder what he did wrong, right? Which is why, personally, I think with a load of these ones, that's why Esau pushes the guys that have criminal convictions or whatever, right? Because once again, Esau's trying to push the narrative, right? By that I mean Jakes that get shot after doing wicked stuff, right? Because then people are like, oh, but look, he was wicked anyway, so it's okay, right? Whereas you have certain Jakes that get killed, ain't got a no rap sheet, no nothing, right? And then these media publications are doing their best to try and find the one dirty thing about this person. Oh, he didn't pay child support. Oh, okay, cool, justified in killing him then, right? When you look at that guy Elijah McClain, they never pushed that, right? You could tell a guy had a bit of was mentally challenged, right? But they never pushed that. Why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative, right? Just thinking if I had more, you know. But yeah, man. Hey, look, hey, this is one of the reasons why we hope to get out of this man's kingdom, man. Right? So we can have righteous laws, man. It's Isaiah 10:1 says, "One to them that decree and righteous decrees." Right, so what I was describing about that Jake that spent life in prison because of the three strike rule, right? That was an unrighteous decree, right? Would you mean 40 years of your life? What would you mean prison in general? Right, once again, in our law, you steal something, you pay that back and double, right? And sorry, you pay that back and then something on top, right? So I think if you steal £10, it's something like, I think if I'm remembering correctly, you got to pay back £20, right? It says, and that right grievances which they have prescribed, right? So all of these different laws, all these laws, basically preferring Esau, you know, those are unrighteous laws, man, and unrighteous decrees, right? I was gonna add something in my mind. What did I just use? I was at 10 unrighteous decrees. Ah, lost it. But hey, maybe the spirit's just saying it to end it there. So as always, Lord's will, I was edifying. Till next time. Shalom.